progress.
Hello, good morning. In this video, we will discuss the current affairs of 18th May 2021. The first article is regarding the creation of the Legislative Council. Why is this was in news means Cabinet approves the proposal for creation of the Legislative Council in West Bengal. That's why it is in news. Coming to the news, once the council, that is the Legislative Council is set up, just a minute. Once the Legislative Council is set up in the West Bengal becomes the seventh Indian state to have a bicameral system of legislature. Bicameral system means the state which is having both the Legislative Assembly and Legislative Council. It is said to be the bicameral system of legislature. After seventh state, after Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Karnataka, which now having this legislative council apart from legislative assembly. Remember this seven state basis on the basis of north and south clusters. Let's discuss how it is. For example, look at the map. What are the states that is having means? Just a minute. This is the Uttar Pradesh. Coming to the north cluster, these are Uttar Pradesh and Bihar and Uttar Pradesh and Bihar are the north cluster. This is the north cluster. Coming to the south cluster, that is the Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, and Maharashtra. These four states are adjoining. Coming to this, remember Maharashtra is not south, but remember it as a south cluster for the purpose of the remembrance. All four states are joining, that is the Maharashtra, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka. Maharashtra, Telangana, Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. These four states from the south cluster and Uttar Pradesh and Bihar from the north cluster. Once the West Bengal Council will be approved, it become the seventh state. And remember, it has also as north cluster adjoining the Bihar also. West Bengal is present. That's why Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and West Bengal, Maharashtra, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka. This is the south cluster and this is the going to be the north cluster. These are the states of which is having legislative council. Till now, West Bengal is till now it doesn't have, but the cabinet approved the proposal of this. Finally, the parliament had to make the final decision on this. Coming to the next thing. Coming to the under what is the constitutionality of this legislative council means, under article 169 of the constitution, parliament may create or abolish the legislative council. What is the constitutional power of the parliament here means, under article 169 the parliament can create or abolish any legislative council of a state. What is the pre-constitutive purpose here means, if you want to create or abolish any legislative council, the legislative assembly of that state first have to pass a resolution to that effect with a special majority, not simple majority, special majority, that is 3/4 majority, such that after the passing of the resolution, then the final authority is the parliament, what the decision have to take according to article 169. Thus, parliament is the final destiny maker here. And coming to the differences between the legislative council and the legislative assembly, coming to the legislative council, legislative councils are the upper house of the Indian state. The members of the legislative council are partly elected and partly nominated. And coming to the legislative assembly, this is the body of people representatives directly elected by the people of the country of that state, and it is said to be the lower house of the state legislature. And coming to the presiding officer, for the legislative council, the presiding officer is the chairman. For legislative assembly, the presiding officer is the speaker. The minimum age for the membership of the legislative council is 30 years. Here, the legislative assembly, it is 25 years. That's enough. And coming to the strength of the legislative council, it must be having a maximum strength of it will allow maximum up to the 1/3 of the total member of the legislative assembly. For example, legislative assembly has a member of 500 people, then it will have 1/3 of that 500 as maximum. It does not allow the upper limit of the 1/3, and it will have minimum of 40 members. Minimum limit is 40 and upper limit is 1/3 of that assembly strength. Coming to the legislative assembly, the maximum membership is up to 500. The minimum is 60 members. The minimum strength is 60 members. And coming to the, with respect to the powers of money bill, in legislative council, they cannot introduce a money bill, or they cannot amend it, or they cannot reject it. That means they have no power to say with respect to the money bill in the legislative council. When coming to the legislative assembly, they can have the they can introduce in the legislative assembly or amend it, reject it. All the powers with respect to the money bill have vests in the legislative assembly. And coming to the budget, with respect to the legislative council, with respect to the budget, they can only discuss the budget and they cannot vote for the demands for the grants. They only discuss, they have no right to say this is right and this is wrong. The vote only is the exclusive privilege of the assembly only. And coming to the final thing, that is the election of the President of India. The members of the Legislative Council cannot participate in the Legislative Council. They have no right to participate in the election of the President of India. Coming to the Legislative Assembly, elected members of the Assembly of all states and elected members of Union Territory of Delhi and Puducherry assemblies can participate in the election of the president. These all with respect to the Legislative Council and Legislative Assembly. Let's jump into the another article, that is the India achieved new milestones in the rural development, says the report. This is made possible by number of ongoing initiatives and schemes for the development of employment in the rural India. What are the schemes which involved in the development of rural India means? They are, the first one is the Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, National Rural Livelihood Mission, simply called as DAY NRLM. And second one is the MG Narega. And third one is the Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. And fourth is the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin. These are the major schemes that involved in the development of the rural India. Coming to the first scheme, that is the Deen Dayal Antyodaya National Rural Livelihood Missions. It has been launched in the year 2015. It has been revamped from its old previous scheme, which is present in the Congress government, that is the Ajivika National Rural Livelihood Mission. To increase the objective here is to increase the rural household income through the sustainable livelihood enhancement. హౌస్‌హోల్డ్ ఇన్‌కమ్ సస్టైనబుల్ లైవ్లీహుడ్ ఎన్హాన్స్‌మెంట్ ద్వారా పెంచడం అన్నమాట. ఎలా అంటే కెపాసిటీ బిల్డింగ్ అండ్ సోషల్ డెవలప్‌మెంట్ హ్యాస్ బీన్ డన్ త్రూ ట్రైనింగ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ ఆఫ్ ద కమ్యూనిటీ రిసోర్స్ పర్సన్ అండ్ ఉమెన్ సెల్ఫ్ హెల్ప్ గ్రూప్స్. కమ్యూనిటీ రిసోర్స్ పర్సన్‌కి లేదా ఉమెన్ సెల్ఫ్ హెల్ప్ గ్రూప్ మెంబర్స్‌కి కెపాసిటీ బిల్డింగ్, సోషల్ డెవలప్‌మెంట్‌లో ఒక రకమైన ట్రైనింగ్ ఇస్తూ వాళ్ళ సస్టైనబుల్ లైవ్లీహుడ్‌ని ఎన్హాన్స్ చేస్తూ వాళ్ళ హౌస్ హోల్డ్ ఇన్‌కమ్‌ని పెంచే స్కీమే డే ఎన్ఆర్ఎల్ఎం. అండ్ కమింగ్ టు ద ఎంజీ నరేగా, వి ఆల్ నో it is a Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme involved in various convergence of different schemes. And with compared to the previous year 2019, in the 2019 it provides employment to the 1.22 crores. That means nearly 1.2 crore persons. In 2019 it have given employment. When coming to the last year 2020, it given double for it, that is 2.95 crore persons have been benefited from this, generating 34 crore person days as compared to the previous year. And coming to the Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, this scheme was launched in year 2000 under the leadership of the former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. The objective here is to provide good all-weather road connectivity. That means in winter, summer, and rainy season, all-weather road connectivity to unconnected villages of the country. It achieved highest cumulative physical progress in the last 3 years. That means it created nearly a kilometer of 1795.9 kilometer road has been established in the rural India in the last 3 years. And coming to the next final scheme, that is the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin. It has launched in 2016, and it is revamped from the previous existing Indira Awas Yojana of the Congress government, and to achieve the housing for all by 2020 in the rural India. It incurred an expenditure of nearly 5,854 crores in the this financial year, compared to the 2,512 crore in the previous year. These numbers we don't have to remember, just we have just a figure. That means nearly 6,000 crores has incurred in this financial year. That's a round figure we have to remember for it will help in the mains answer writing. That's all in this article. And coming to the next article, let's discuss it. Security and Exchange Board of India, that is the SEBI, the regulator here, proposes framework for the gold exchange. What is this all means? In the proposal framework, the SEBI allows the yellow metal will be traded in the form of electronic gold receipts. The gold, this gold will be now available to be traded in the form of EGRs, that is electronic gold receipts, in denominations of the 1 kg, 100 grams and 50 grams. These three denominations will be issued under the electronic gold receipts. It will help in having a transparent domestic spot price discovery mechanism. It will help in transparent domestic price recovery mechanism, and it will also attract the more players. The assuring the smaller denominations such as 10 grams, 5 grams will be allowed for the trading purposes. With the allowing of these small quantities, a normal person can also invest in this. That's why more players can come into play. The competition will become more exclusive here. And coming to the next benefit is to establish Indian good delivery standard to the London Bullion Market Association. So to by increasing this competition, we also allow up to the standards of the London Bullion Market Association. Generally, in coming to the accreditation of the gold bars, there are two purity standard controls. That is the BAS, that is the Bureau of Indian Standards, and the other one is the LBMA, that is the London Bullion Market Association. These two are the purity regulators of the accredited gold bars. And coming to the consumption in the world, India stands second only in terms of consumption of gold after China. But India has remained only as a price taker in the global market. That's all. To change this position, government has announced various schemes for the gold exchanges so as to reduce the current of account deficit. That is, the first one is the gold monetization scheme, GMS, to mobilize the unused gold which is lying idle in the Indian households, only present in the Indian households, it become unused, to reduce the current account deficit, and which is this current account deficit is due to the import of the gold from the various countries. That's why when you mobilize the physical gold in the households, That's why this current account deficit will be reduced. In this perspective, the government has launched gold monetization scheme. And coming to the other scheme, that is the sovereign gold bond scheme. This sovereign gold bond scheme to reduce the demand for the physical gold. Main objective here is reduce the demand for the gold, physical gold as a saving instrument. What here means government issues securities in the denomination of the grams of the gold. Government securities will be issued in the denomination of the grams of the gold, thereby reducing the demand for the physical gold in this perspective. Somewhat the sovereign gold bond scheme relate to the electronic gold receipts also. These all about the current account deficit and the gold bond scheme all about.